Welcome back to Constructive Insight. I'm your host, Gamer, and hey, Katie. I have to always say hi to Katie.
Hi, how are you?
So, we're getting a lot of feedback on our social things.
We are.
Katie takes care of that. So we're gonna have some contests running. So keep an eye on our TikTok, our Tweety, Insta thing.
Yeah, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Okay, so that's why I don't do any of that. Katie takes care of that.
I got you.
I just smile for videos.
We are going to run some contests.
So we've got some contests coming. So Katie will keep up on that.
Yeah.
But I do keep getting, is Katie ever going to be on camera? And
no.
And she signed an agreement where she doesn't have to. That was not offered to me. So again, those of you watching on YouTube, and we got approved for Spotify video.
Yeah, we
did. I guess that was a big deal. Woohoo! Yay, us.
I know.
So good deal. You can see us. I didn't get that as part of my contract.
I'll just be the voice from above, though.
Okay,
you'll never see me.
Katie will always be the voice in the back. But with me today, I am so pleased. He's an amazing member of our community here in Pueblo. He's active in youth sports. He's just the guy, if you need something, you give him a call. I'm proud to call him a friend, but Derrick Martinez from Express Employment Personnel, welcome to Constructive Insight.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Hey, I'm excited. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what Express Employment does here?
Yes, so we're Express Employment Professionals.
Sorry.
We help people find jobs and companies find good people.
I love that. And I have used you, full disclosure, in two different formats. One, finding a permanent direct hire, which was it was just phenomenal, the work that you all did in screening candidates for us. The other is I have gotten a lot of construction folks from you. And, this is a construction podcast. And so I just want to say, local plug, the quality of workers we've gotten from you is phenomenal. So
awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we do direct hire, permanent placements. So direct hire, and then also evaluation hires, and then like day labor stuff too.
Awesome. So with that, before we jump into the episode, it's time for our Would You Rather.
Would you rather?
The last one was brutal last week, folks.
This one won't be as bad.
Okay.
No, this one's going to be easy.
Okay.
Kind of.
Uh-huh.
Would you rather suddenly be elected a senator or suddenly become a CEO of a major company? Here's the catch. You would not have any more knowledge about either job than you do right now.
So like most of Congress and most CEOs. So I think I'll be okay.
So now you got to pick one. So let's say, would you rather become a CEO of, would you rather become a CEO of a social media company or become a senator?
I'm gonna go with senator. I think you need to know less. So I'm doubling down on my comment because me being the director of TikTok, Tweety Face, that's not gonna work.
It is not gonna work.
So I'm gonna go with being a senator. I also hear there's great benefits. So healthcare for life.
Okay, Derrick, what would you rather do? Would you rather be a senator or a CEO?
I think I'd do the CEO.
Okay.
Because I could hire smarter people than me to run it. So.
There you go.
See, that's fair.
Right.
I like what you did.
And you would get Express to help you find those people.
Correct.
So he would always got a way to
He
plug
would do
it.
the thing he's really good at.
He's always working. Yeah, if you've ever met Derrick, he's always working it. I love it. So, Katie?
What a brilliant answer. Honestly, I think I would do the CEO. I think that I jokingly say I go to YouTube University.
Okay.
Like if I don't know something, I just YouTube it or Google it.
Right.
So I'm like, how hard can it be? That's the gene I was born with, is the how hard can it be gene. And so I think I would be a CEO because I don't necessarily know that I would want to get into politics, but I think I could figure out how to do the other stuff.
Okay, well, hey, all good answers. So that was a perfect lead in. I mean, Derrick gave himself the perfect in. We're talking in this podcast, and really this series of podcasts is has kind of morphed into, housing in our community, creating the buildings that our community needs. And a lot of that comes with, Derrick, I know through other organizations that you're a part of, you help bring companies here to Pueblo. So, can you talk a little bit about, what are larger companies looking for when they're deciding to locate here?
They look for education.
Hmm.
They also look for our workforce, because when they move their companies here, that's the first thing they want to know is, am I going to have employees to hire?
Right.
So they look at that. They look at the housing market. They want to make sure that they bring their CEOs or people to run the company here, that they're going to have affordable housing and be able to buy a house here, so that they stay here permanently.
That's awesome. I know that we've had some larger companies come in recent years, and what kind of housing are they finding? Not only for our CEOs, but I know they come to Express to get those qualified workers here as well. And what are you hearing as, you're on the front line, and even though Derrick is an owner, this guy rolls his sleeves up and he gets in it he's as involved as you've got some phenomenal people working for you. Shout out to Crystal. That's who I worked with the most, but
Yes, I have great staff. I always say I'm the pretty face of the company. So I got to give a shout out to my staff. They're the
right.
hard workers, that find the great people. But biggest thing right now that, we're running out of housing, to house people. So companies look at that to see, well, what's the housing market? Are we going to be able to buy a house? But housing markets for everybody, in every state is the struggle. We're running out of, homes to, buy or even rent.
Right. Well, and three right now, it's as of it was a study done, so it would have ended the first quarter of 2024. There is a shortfall of 3.4 million homes that could be occupied tomorrow if they were built. And so that's a critical need in the community. And, we're talking about housing for our people because they work hard all day. I mean, I've seen the crews you find that send out, they're working hard. And I used to drop some of them off at motels that they were, there was a family of 5 living in a motel because they couldn't afford rent.
And correct, affordable housing for the average worker is very difficult. We need to figure out either the pay scale for what we're paying these people, and then also the housing market, so that they can live in their own home or even rent. Rent is even very hard to rent on a one-person salary.
And we're talking about, and this has now been multiple episodes. So with yours, you do, excuse me, all manner of jobs. I'm more familiar with your construction folks that have come and done a phenomenal job for me over the years. But we were just talking with someone last week that nurses and CNAs, they can't, they're expected to take excellent care of all these people all day and go home to living with 4 or 5 other people, or teachers that come out of college and can't afford it. So, the inventory needs to be, and one of the solutions we've been talking about is going back to that 1950s style housing, building starter homes, not the home you want to end up in 20 years, but the starter house. And I know you've got kids getting ready to go to college and in high school. What do we want for them to have, and get the community ready for?
Yeah, when I remember when I first got my first home, it was a starter home. I knew it was a starter home. It was 3 bedroom, small little 1,000, square foot rancher home, and that was our starter home. And then we worked our way up to, because we had kids and we had to get a bigger house. But it's hard to even find the starter homes that are reasonable price now.
And that we bring that up because we also need that workforce. And what we have talked about way back, I think on our first episode, was that the average age of skilled construction workers right now, so your skilled trades, your plumbers, your electricians, your carpenters, is 56 years old. We need people to start taking these jobs up, and so that we can even begin to start thinking about building those starter homes or designing those communities.
Yeah, correct. If I always look back, I said, if I knew what I know now coming out of high school, I would have probably went into a trade. I would have probably been an electrician or an HVAC tech, because they're in high demand right now. And if I would have known that, I would have probably pursued that.
Right. And when we're trying to do construction projects, we're getting great skilled workers from people like Express, but at the same time, I can't get my plumbing roughed in for 4 to 6 weeks because they just don't have the plumbers. They don't have the electricians. So we want to, we're dealing with the 10,000 foot problem of, we need to start building these starter homes. We need to look at ways to do that, but we don't have the people to do it. And I guess some ideas we've been throwing out, getting trade programs back into high school.
Correct. And it was funny that you say that it's hard to find a plumber. I was just on Facebook and a friend of mine was asking, plumber to come look at my leak. Well, somebody referred him and they're like, sorry, I'm booked out until April.
Oh my gosh. And I mean, we're in November, so that's a long time.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have an emergency, it's
Right.
going to be very difficult to get somebody out there. But yeah, it's trying to bring those back to high schools, giving students an option.
Right.
Either an option and also letting them see what it's going to be like. They might go into this class and say, nope, I don't want to do it. But they might go in the class and say, man, I really want to do, electrician, or I want to be a plumber, or, any of those trades.
And I think it's incumbent on us in construction that we make the commitment to go into the schools and say, bring the electricians and have them do internships with an electrician, have them do an internship and get school credit for it. I mean, they can do other internships that are college focused, and we become very college focused, that everyone should go to college. And there are folks that are great with their hands that, if I was good at any of that, I would be doing that. So I'm not. So I have a podcast. So that's what I'm doing.
So
That's where we took construction.
It's funny. We were at a conference, and Mike Rowe was one of our speakers, and he's the host of Dirtiest Jobs. And he comes and speaks to us that in the world, our government and everybody else pushed college. You must go to college. You got to go to college. You got to get an education. Well, they didn't see the effect that it would do. We pushed these for years and years. Now we're struggling for skilled trades.
Right.
Because we pushed everybody to college. And there's nothing bad about college, and there's nothing bad about not going to college and going into skilled trades. Both of them. He tells us, I have a young kid that's 21 years old. He's a friend of mine. He makes 6 figures as a diesel mechanic.
There you go.
He's just saying hard work, you're going to still be at the same level as, a college student.
Well, and we talk about that when you do, we happen to be here in Southern Colorado. We have 5 military bases within 35 miles, 40 miles of here. And you get a carpenter making $65 an hour on Davis-Bacon wages, a skilled carpenter, an asbestos worker making $78 an hour. Those are high paying jobs that you come out of college with that skill set. And college is great. Most of my nieces and nephews took the college route. I had a nephew who just graduated. He took the route of a trade high school in Colorado Springs. They offered it. And, he got his AA in business from, it's now called Pikes Peak State College. Um, he got that, and he's a welder, and he has his auto mechanics and his welder, and he's coming right out of high school, starting to make that money, going, okay, I want to buy a house. Now we need to make sure he has it, but we also need to. Doc has charged me with going into the Pueblo community, working with the school districts. He did it on his episode 2 for everybody. Um, charged me with going in and saying, how do we help? How do we at AIM? How do we bring the community together? And how do we support a trades program? And I think, knowing the workers we got from you, that would be phenomenal with Express. So, with community partners like you, I think we can do it, and it can be replicated anywhere people care about their community, which I'm going to guess is everywhere someone lives that's listening. So, kind of meeting that need. We can't build the houses if we don't have the people to build it.
Nope. And, it's anywhere. It's glass installers, My parents own a glass company in Hawaii, and you can't find glass glazers.
Right.
It's unbelievable to get staff out there. So, at any trade, you're going to do well.
Well, and we were talking, so we've talked about tiny homes on this podcast, that fading west out of Buena Vista, Colorado, it's a little sleepy mountain town, except in the winter there is skiing, and they sent FEMA tiny homes to Hawaii for the Maui fires. That we've got to find. Stick building isn't going to do it. I mean, imagine the cost. It's heavy shipping costs getting them over there anyway, but imagine the cost if it was just material, and then it has to be constructed once you get there. And I know I've talked with your stepdad, and that they don't have those skilled workers there to keep building.
Yep.
Right now.
And the one thing that I always tell, and we educate people we're trying to help find work, it all comes with hard work. You do your job, you go in there, you learn, open mind, and do 110% every day. It's going to lead up to something in the future. College wasn't for me. After 2 years, I tried it. I said, it's not for me. I'm wasting my parents' money. I'll go to work. I knew that I was going to have to work harder. I started at the bottom at Express and at the front desk and worked my way up. And now I'm a franchise owner. So I own 2 franchises in Express Employment Professionals.
So I love that. It's that story of you keep trying. And I think we got a young man from you. He was 18 years old when I hired him, and we brought him on full time. And, it was that idea of show up, do what we're asking, don't be afraid of that hard work. And I think that's something else that I know I want to keep instilling in that next generation is no one's going to hand it to you. I mean, no one's going to say, hey, here's everything you want on a platter. Let's bring back that notion of you're going to work hard for it, and we're going to be there to support you. But I know that's the work ethic, because I've been at your place and seen your daughters working on their breaks like that's being instilled.
And that's part of the other thing we do is we give back to our community. We go into schools, high schools, we do it at our community college, but we do presentations on how to get a job,
awesome.
Teach these students, because they don't know how to go to an interview, how to ask questions, things like that. So we try to prepare them on a presentation that we do, and it's called How to Get a Job. And we talk about interview questions, and we talk about, what to ask, what to say, how to dress, things like that, so that we can help them in the future find jobs.
That's amazing. And I love the work you do in the community. And, one thing that Katie and I, it's our running joke is show up on time if you're going for an interview.
Derrick, I will be late to my own funeral. It's a running
go
joke.
back to that.
I'll never be on time. Even when I'm early, I still somehow manage to start late of whatever task I'm doing. So that's a running joke.
In the day of cell phones, there's no reason if you're going to be late not to call. So I will always give a prospective interview. I will give them 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
At 11 minutes, I'm done. They know, don't even send it back. And I had a gentleman, and he was just all irate. And I said, if you're late asking me for a job, do you really think I'm going to trust that you're going to show up on time every day? So
If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late.
Derrick and I are kindred spirits. Katie is
Gamer gives me a lot of grace.
I go, Katie's here. I see the car, everybody. The car was here.
I was here
on time.
I was just solving the world's problems.
She just didn't get into the building till 23 after. Not that
It's
I was
all right.
watching it all, but but no, those are great tips. And if you are in the Pueblo area and you are looking for work, these guys are phenomenal. They really do care. I would get calls saying, how are they working out? The people would get called, the crew that I would get, hey, how's it working out?
And we do office services, light industrial, skilled trades, and professionals. So even those companies that are looking for the people, need to reach out and see how we work.
See, I needed him to plug that because I could not remember everything you offered.
No, you're okay. So how do they find you? Is there a website? Do you have social media?
We have a website, expresspros.com. We also have a Facebook page, Express Pros Pueblo.
And we'll link everything for you so that
awesome.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
And we'll
we're
link
local,
up.
So
And
we've been here a long
what's
time.
the process? So when they come into you, what do they have to do?
When they come in, they'll get interviewed on the spot. We don't turn anybody away or have them go fill out an application anywhere. You'll get interviewed by a recruiter. We'll have an interview, and we match your skills with the most available job that we have. And we help you find, we want to find you a career and an opportunity to go into a company.
And is there an
that's
age
what my
limit? Is
staff-
there anything like that?
18 and older. So that we can help you find work. So you could either apply online, and then I'll give you an option that you can schedule your own interview online, or you can just come in and we'll interview on the spot.
We love the internet.
And I can do the
And
internet. I can do that.
The internet is not my idea. I have smarter people that I hire. I got to give a plug to my wife. She's the one that really runs the business. But all the IT stuff and the internet and the Facebook posts, that's all her.
So there you go. So that's who Katie will get in contact with to make sure this all
Correct.
gets to where
There's
it
the
needs
secret
to be.
sauce. That's how it works.
But over the years you deal with people, and I think the thing that's impressed me the most about Express is the respect for everyone that comes in, the respect they show, and I have watched Derrick and his recruiters, just how hard they work, going, okay, if they can't do this kind of job, do you have another project? Or I've got this idea. They will go out of their way to find something for everyone.
And we're a small business, locally owned. So we're not a corporation. We're family owned and operated here. So we strive on customer service. If a customer comes to us and asks us to do something, if we will find a way to do it within the employment laws. And if we can't, we'll be honest with that customer and tell them, we can't do it this way, but we can do it this way. Or here's some options. We have two customers in our business, the people we help find work and companies that we help find people. Because without those two, we wouldn't be in business. So we treat everybody with the full respect.
I'm a return customer. So Derrick, thank you so much. Everybody, you know what time it is? It's OSHA toolbox time. So gather around, put your phone on, Let's get ready.
And
So,
I've been through some OSHA, some
Inspections?
investigations,
Yes.
so I know how those work.
That just struck fear into the hearts of many of the superintendents putting their phones. They just dropped it because you never want that OSHA investigation. You never, even if it's
Hey, you can call Express and we'll help make sure that you're in compliance with
look
OSHA.
at this. He's even
We know how to
plugging
do
some.
some safety stuff. So
Okay.
So there you go. I mean, your toolbox talk here, but we also know if you're getting your peoples. So I had another agency, of course, not Express. Sorry, I cheated on you. And they sent us a worker for a job site laborer that had a cast on his left arm. And I said, well, what kind of work do you think, he's going to be able to do for me? That's someone not fit for the job. But it's not just physical. Do they have the right boots? Do they have warm clothing? We're approaching the winter season. Do they have the right, jackets, or are they going to be warm? If you're sending them out to work in a solar field, maybe it's not a good idea to send someone who doesn't have a winter coat. um, what is fit? Understanding that being fit too can be someone's had a major life event and maybe mentally they're not there that day. One person on a job site not being 100% there when you're using heavy equipment.
the biggest thing is when companies look to hire, have they done work like this before?
Right.
Because we don't like sending anybody that hasn't done it within 6 months, because your body isn't adapt to that hard labor stuff or construction work.
Construction's hard.
You want to see if they're physically fit and able to do the work. And again, we strive on making people safe and company safe, and that's our associates. And then also our best insurance for our clients.
And every superintendent out there is going, yes, 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 this is what we want. Because, we have to know, and just checking in with your guys. A lot of people act like, well, how am I supposed to keep on top? You know what? I was on a job site. We had almost 47 guys at one point with Express. You say good morning to everyone. You get an idea. Somebody who's a little quiet, that is not normally quiet, but he's a little quiet. Maybe just have a conversation. Everything okay? How are things going? Get to know your people. It's your responsibility also as the superintendent. Know your crews. Don't expect, well, that's my foreman's job. That's this person's job. Because I'll tell you, one accident, the amount of OSHA paperwork, and that's, Derrick and I can attest, one accident, and thank goodness ours was not fatal. The amount of paperwork and the amount of everything you do, you think going around and say good morning to your crew, it takes a while. Try doing an OSHA complaint. So, well, our job is to not have those happen. Stay safe out there. It's getting to be cold weather in most of the U.S. Bundle up. Make sure your crews are warm enough. You're giving them that warming shelter if they're outside. So, Derrick, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Hey, it's been fun, and I appreciate you even asking me to be on this.
Hey, I knew I had to have you on. So I just want to say thank you again to
Thank you.
Derrick at Express Employment Professionals. I got
There
it
you
right
go.
this time. Katie, thanks for everything you do. And
Always.
until next time, suit up and show up. Your community needs you.